Welcome to Bella Vista High School, Fair Oaks, California, on a blustery Friday evening in the Sacramento Valley, the Sacramento County area. We've got a lacrosse doubleheader for you tonight as the Rocklin Thunder have made the way into Fair Oaks to take on the Broncos of Bella Vista this evening. We begin first with the JV game, and then the varsity game will follow this evening at 7 o'clock as we have a couple of girls' games for you on this Friday evening. Good evening, everybody. George Tharlson, Aaron Keogh. Welcome to Bella Vista Girls High School Lacrosse on YouTube. We're glad to have you starting your weekend with us as we get started with a little bit of lacrosse action. We're about to see the JV team, and this is going to be their first time out this season because, well, they didn't play on Wednesday due to the Roseville not having a JV team, but Rocklin does. 15 players on their JV squad, and so the Bronco JVs are going to be able to get on the field tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting matchup. Rocklin's a program that has a lot of fall ball. In football, I know we do football season this year. We did, and we talk about spring ball with football. With lacrosse, we talk about fall ball. And so Rocklin's a program that plays fall ball. They actually play in a same league with Bella Vista, so the friendly rivals. I heard from the varsity coach earlier, so that'll be fun for them. But yeah, this is going to be an exciting matchup, and for Bella Vista, this is a great opportunity for this program to continue to build. We talked about that Wednesday night with the varsity team, but there are a lot of first-year players on this JV team and some that are returning that are hoping to have kind of a stellar knockout season this year.
Well, we saw a breakout performance by a freshman on Wednesday night in the varsity game with Julia Thomas.
Yep.
There are, I'm just going to count it out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 freshmen on this JV roster for the Broncos, and so they're all making their high school debuts tonight, other than what they may have done in fall, but,
sure.
But as far as the regular, the real season, the spring season, they're making their debuts tonight, and so we will learn a little bit more about the likes of Paige Hatfield. That's a familiar name. I am presuming it's a relation to Miles Hatfield of the boys lacrosse team. Sarah DeMucha, Maddie Morgan, Nicole Mercer, Kira Lindsay, and Eleanor Bolden are the freshmen on this team. Some other familiar names, Maisie Hess, who played on the varsity basketball team this year. Got a chance to see her play a couple of times this season. And we saw Story Wharton, the sophomore goalie who had to step up and play varsity on Wednesday due to an injury, and did very well. She's back with the JV tonight and will get the start in goal. She won't be number 41. She'll be number 6.
She'll be 6 tonight. That's right. No, but great for her, to step up for the varsity team when they needed her, but also good for her to work. This is who she's been practicing with all preseason. They've got ready to play, so good for her to be here tonight for their first game.
Well, and we are hearing the music, and we are watching the players. Go ahead and take a look at the field now. We're watching the players do some warming up. It does not look to me like we're 5 minutes from starting a lacrosse game.
It doesn't. I mean, I see the referees down there with the captain, so that's a good sign. But I'm hoping, frankly, I see the lights starting to come on now. I'm hoping that the wind obviously is not going to go away, and that's going to be
Correct.
Problematic, especially if you are moving right to left on the field. That's the direction of the wind right now. But we've had several downpours today. We've had a little bit of thunder and lightning. Hopefully, especially with the lightning, hopefully that stays away. But, the rain could prove problematic because it's been downpours, and so when it comes down, it's been heavy, can cause some puddling. I mean, this is a beautiful turf field at Bella Vista, but when you have so much rain and moisture, sometimes it's a little bit unavoidable. So hopefully we avoid that and just have to deal with the wind tonight.
Well, we certainly can hope. We do have the cloud cover overhead, and you're right. And the forecast, at least when I looked at it this morning, it was showing a pretty good chance of rain from the 60s and upward pretty much throughout both of the games tonight. So It is something that we will need to be concerning ourselves with, and we'll see what transpires this evening.
Yes, very much so.
All right, so some of the other names to listen for the Bella Vista Broncos, some of these players making their return to the JV squad after playing JV ball last year. Kelly Olson, is a sophomore. She found the back of the net one time, but she knows how to pick up the loose balls on the field. So 28 ground balls last year, and also played field hockey. So
yep.
I would imagine there are some transferable skills between those two sports.
I would think so, yeah. Totally, I would think so. You know, another big story that we want to talk about is Zia Martin, number 13. She played in 3 games last year and then unfortunately had a season-ending ACL injury, and so she's back tonight and making her debut as a sophomore. Would look for her along with the Bunzy twins, Jilly and Maddie Bunzy, up front on the attack. Those are 3 returning players, and although Zia was hurt, she knows lacrosse. She's played lacrosse for a long time, so I would look for the Broncos to build their offense around not only those 3, but certainly those 3 are ones that we're going to be watching for tonight.
All right. Well, we're watching again, continuing to watch the warm-ups, and we will get the game underway here before too long. Again, I hope you had mentioned that you're wondering if maybe there might be some weather issues that maybe we don't know about, but others might.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to our football days in the fall, and when we would look out over the horizon and we would see, you know, the lightning kind of illuminating the sky, and it made for a beautiful sunset, but at the same time, you know, wasn't really cause for concern because it was just up in the sky. There weren't any strikes to the ground. There has been a little bit of that for those that are tuning in from across the United States, not just here local in the Fair Oaks area. There is a really significant snow event happening up in the Sierra Mountains right now. They are projected to get 15 feet of snow over the next couple of days on the like at Donner Pass, and so that weather is what's moving through at this point in time through the area, and so that's resulted in a lot of rain. Obviously not snow in Fair Oaks, but it's caused a lot of rain and other wind to be picking up. So I don't see any lightning in the sky right now. There's actually even little pockets where you can see a little bit of blue, so I think that's good. But, George, I do see players coming to the sideline, so I think we're getting closer.
And I also thought I heard a whistle, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. You were mentioning weather, winter weather in particular. My wife went up to Grass Valley to attend the boys' game.
Oh, yeah.
On Wednesday night. Well, we were here, and she says the car gave her a blizzard warning.
Oh,
on
my!
The way up there. Never seen that before, but you know, those things can happen as well. So the teams are lined up, and I think that we are going to have the national anthem here in just a second.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going through their getting their sticks checked. That's a rule in lacrosse. For girls lacrosse, you've got to make sure that you have a regulation stick and that it's strung up properly. If it's not, the official will make you change that, and sometimes that can just happen in the course of practice. You know, the stick can get a little unstrung or a little unstuck, and so
right.
You know, we got to check that out.
And you got to be careful too, because if you're playing with a stick that doesn't meet regulation, you get called for a penalty.
Exactly.
And again, if you are joining us, knowing our audience, you're probably familiar with the girls' game. It is a much different brand of lacrosse than the boys play, but it will be. It was still a lot of fun to be here the other night for the opener, to see such a great performance by Julia Thomas and Regan Silvers and the varsity. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this JV team can put together. We were talking. You had mentioned Jilly and Maddie Buncy back with the team here. Isabella Biondi was on JV last year. Zia Martin is another one. 6 goals in just 3 games last year. ACL injury kept her out most of the season.
That's right.
She is back. Her mom is up here as part of the game day crew here in the booth.
That's right.
And she is so excited, and so and so is Zia.
Yes.
So
I'm not sure who's more excited, but yes, there's a lot of excitement in that household.
Indeed. So it looks like
almost ready to go.
Looks like the stick check is being wrapped up, and.
Well, and a little trivia, you may already know this, George, but so Zia and her family originally from Canada, and you know, when you think national sports in Canada, you think hockey, but
Correct.
It's actually lacrosse is the national sport in Canada.
Lacrosse is actually the national sport in Canada. I did not know that.
I have that on good authority from a very good Canadian friend.
Okay. Well, I know that its origins.
Yeah.
There's Native American and I believe also Canadian.
And Canadian, that's right,
So that is interesting to learn that.
So it's in their blood for the Martins.
Yes. Okay, so if you see on our we're not showing it right now, but as the camera pans, you're going to see that there are pop-up tents over both benches. Those tents are going to give you an indication, a pretty good indication throughout the evening tonight of what the wind is doing.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that we can look at, we don't get a good angle of it here in the booth, but is the American flag and how that might be extended fully when the wind is kicking up. But yeah, we had quite a bit of rain today, as you mentioned. It is cold. It is chilly. It's cloudy, but right now it is dry, and that's a good thing. And hopefully we can get through these two games tonight with the conditions not getting much worse than what we currently have now. You're looking at the weather.
Yeah, 52 degrees, and till we get done with the varsity game tonight, down to 50. So not a lot of change in the temperature, but it feels colder than that. My goodness, with the wind, I don't even want to know.
Well, we are probably talking about the dreaded wind chill factor.
Yes.
Which I've heard stories about wind chill factors. I remember a football game back in the 80s between San Diego. The Chargers were in San Diego at the time, of course, and they were playing in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, 0 degrees at kickoff and a minus 25 wind chill factor. And there were still crazy fans with no shirts on.
Oh, yeah. That's a little cold for me. I don't know. That's my old stomping grounds there in Cincinnati. But
welcome everybody.
Good look at the referee as doing his best to stay warm as well. I love it. That's right.
Oh, you know what? We may not do the national anthem before the JV game. That may just be before the varsity, I'm thinking, because they're running out on the field.
Yeah, they are running out onto the field right now, so maybe we don't have the national anthem. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. The first JV game of the year: Bella Vista Lacrosse, the Broncos, and the Thunder. That's Paige Munoz for Rocklin setting up, and it is Sarah DeMucha for Bella Vista. And they line up side by side. As you can see, we're ready to get underway here at Bella Vista High School and begin the 2004 JV season. And Rocklin controls, and then we get a whistle. And the possession's going to go over to Bella Vista, so you just pick it up and you go. And that is Sarah DeMucha. So we will pick the players up as we go. Mackenzie Kavanaugh, number 30. And that is her moving as she passes it off. Angling in with an opportunity and a shot. That is a score early on.
I think that was number 8.
It's either number 8. It is number 8. The numbers are pretty hard to see, too.
Well, with the wind blowing, it makes it even a little bit, they kind of crumple together, if you will, a little bit. So that's, something we should also mention as they're getting reset here for another draw. This is JV Lacrosse, so for those that tuned in on Wednesday night for the varsity game, and you'll see this obviously a little bit later tonight in the broadcast, but the passes are going to be a little less crisp. There's going to be a few more mistakes. This is a learning division, basically, for them to learn how to improve and become varsity players. That's all part of it, though.
Indeed. So the combatants, the same combatants as before. It's almost like a jump ball in basketball right there. And this is Rocklin. That is Lois Higbee, number 6. The ball now goes over to the side going out of bounds. Looks like the Broncos are going to scoop that one up. And that's Mia Hildebrand out there for Bella Vista. Broncos maintain possession. Turnover, though. So they work the ball back behind the net. And the Thunder will start it back up, and they will reset here. Cameron Garcia. And she finds the back of the net. So the Rocklin Thunder have equalized.
Score by Rocklin Thunder. The score is 1-1.
We haven't even played 2 minutes yet. We've already got 2 scores.
2 goals.
2 goals, yeah. That was a good job by the Thunder, taking time to set up. You know, again, with JV lacrosse, sometimes there's a tendency to, you know, bunch ball like you would see in soccer sometimes, that kind of thing. But they did a good job, moved the ball around, looked for an opening, and attacked.
So we'll draw at midfield. Once again, girls varsity lacrosse, 4 12-minute quarters. That is new this year. Lewis Higbee up the far side for Rocklin. And now she'll back it back out. Loose ball. And it's going to be a possession going over to Bella Vista. Broncos working from the back, trying to build out. Hildebrand. And the pass goes too far, but deflected out by Rocklin, it looks like, and so Bella Vista keeps possession. And that's Paige Munoz, who does the face-offs, or at least has so far this year for, or this game for Rocklin. Now they'll jog it to the behind the net. That is Sood right out in front. That's Munoz. That goes wide. So Simran Sood, number 16, found her teammate open right in front of the net. That's exactly what you want to do. And the way that is Story Wharton, number 6, in goal for Bella Vista. And here is another shot. And Story with a save. First JV save of the year for Story Wharton. And Bella Vista stepping out of bounds. If you are able to see this on your screen, the blue lines on the field along the sideline are the out of bounds for lacrosse.
I can't imagine how difficult that is for these young athletes, with the football lines on the field being so prominent. To, you know, it's easy to forget, okay, which color am I?
Well, I think the idea is that you keep it standard on all fields.
Yes.
Out front, there is a shot by Higbee that goes wide. Wharton may have gotten a stick on it as well.
Stays with the Thunder.
Working the left, that's Sood once again. Sood will just kind of jog it out. It looks like they're going to set the offense once again. Simran Sood, number 16. Now she'll bring it out. This is Higbee once again. You know how basketball has a point guard? It looks like Higbee is the point guard for this team as she attacks from the far side. There is a whistle, and it looks like we might be getting a shot here from the fan.
It happened right there, the 8-meter line. This is an 8-meter shot for the Thunder coming up.
That is that interior blue line setup there that's kind of in the form of a fan. And they decide to actually, instead of taking a shot, they work it around behind the goal and now out front. It was once again Paige Munoz who gets fouled, and she's going to have a shot or an opportunity, I guess is the best way to put it, from the 8-meter line.
Yeah, that was just a defender came down on her arm there. Inadvertent, but still a foul.
We await the whistle. As soon as she moves, defenders can collapse on her too. As you see them do that, save Story Wharton. And then they try to swipe at it and whack the ball. Rocklin keeps possession. An extended possession for the Thunder right now. Out front. There was an opportunity there. Now cutting in, there's a shot and a score for Rocklin. And that was Cameron Garcia once again.
Rocklin Thunder. The current score is 2-1.
I have her for two goals tonight. But she got the ball. She was right in front of the goal. I thought she was maybe going to take the shot, but it could be, again, this is JV. Cameron Garcia is a freshman. I wonder if she thought, well, maybe I shouldn't. You don't want to be tentative in those situations.
No, you don't. But again, they're learning and getting better. I don't know that Bella Vista did anything necessarily wrong there. They were set up pretty well on the defense. I think Rocklin did a better job moving the ball and getting it into the goal. And
Garcia found the opening, was able to attack the net, and then find pay dirt. Rocklin's doing pretty good on these face-offs as well. This is Munoz once again. And working from the outside, that's Garcia, and she enters the lane.
Another foul.
We're going to get a whistle. This is going to be Cameron Garcia's first opportunity from the 8-meter line. This is really interesting the way this works. And if you've watched men's lacrosse, they don't have this.
Yeah, this is a change. This is a difference in the two here.
And as another score for Garcia, a hat trick early on.
One of the other things to notice if you're watching this is you'll see the officials doing a lot of teaching in the JV level, explaining what they did wrong, because the rules to lacrosse are not as common as, say, football, basketball, soccer, something like that. Now we're going to stop the clock.
Usually it is, they do run the clock. I don't think they're supposed to run the clock after goals.
Yeah, I think they stop it after a goal. I think you're right. 5:04 left in the first quarter.
So different look on the face-off. There's different ways to do this, and I call it a face-off. It's actually a draw. And sometimes they'll line up side by side. They place the ball in between the backs of the two sticks, the backs of the netting of the two sticks. And then the ball shoots up in the air, and then somebody tries to pick it up, as Paige Munoz just did for Rocklin. Munoz on the run. Munoz enters the 8-meter area. She'll take another shot, and she finds the back of the net for her first goal of the season. So it's a story of two freshmen right now for Rocklin. 4-1 is our score, and all 4 goals for Rocklin by freshmen.
Yeah, it's they seem to be finding a weakness there in the Bronco defense. So they'll, again though, this is okay. It's early on. We can adjust and figure out what's going on here. It also looks like the rain has started because I see
some umbrellas
coming up. Yeah, we are lucky to be inside the press box.
Indeed, we are. You are correct. Rocklin controls another draw. I think Bella Vista won the first one, and Rocklin has won all others. This is Garcia. And her hat trick. Rocklin, by the way, they have already played a game. Here's Garcia once again, and another score.
That was a beautiful pass on the assist there, right in front of the goal. That's hard to stop for any goalkeeper.
So I guess on a night like tonight, the fact that the Rocklin Thunder have come out rolling, if you will,
yep,
almost seems appropriate.
Yeah, as in with all sports, there's momentum, and momentum can shift. And right now, you had pointed out, other than the first draw, Rocklin has won the rest of them, and that's resulted in scores. And so if the Broncos can just win one of these draws and get up where they can go on the attack, they might be able to find the net again.
The Broncos get this one. For a second at least, that was Ariana Watson who came up with it. She's the goal scorer for Bella Vista, and for the first time in a long time, the Broncos are in the attack zone.
The official almost got taken out there.
And that is Maddie Maloney, number 11. This ball. And Rocklin. Well, right now everybody's kind of digging for it. Round and round, bouncing it around, and who will get it? No one knows. Simran Sood has it. Sood up the right side. Once again, Munoz. Munoz gets around Watson. She'll take a shot, and she scores. It's the second for Paige Munoz.
Goal, Rocklin Thunder.
So one of the things they talk about in lacrosse is if you are good at getting ground balls, and basically a ground ball, when the ball is loose, if a player can scoop it up in the cross, right, which is the net there at the end of the stick, that's the cross. If they can get it there and take a couple of steps, then generally that's considered from a stats keeping standpoint a ground ball. The reason that's so critical, you just saw, right? The Broncos had the ball, they were on the attack, they lost the ball, Rocklin was able to get the ground ball and control it, which led to the score. So ground balls is a really important stat, and it's a skill. It's not as easy as it may look on TV to get that ball into your cross and run with it.
Yeah, new players in the draw circle right now for both teams. And Cameron Garcia trying to screen out Kelly Olson to get the ball. And we have a whistle over on the to stop play with the action over on the far side.
Players being summoned.
I wonder if we have a penalty here.
Yeah, yellow card.
Oh, I didn't know we had yellow cards.
We do, yeah.
I would presume that's 2 minutes non-releasable.
It is for a push-off with the stick.
Does the yellow card work the same way as it does in soccer? Two and you're done?
If memory serves correct, yes.
But your team doesn't go a player down for the rest of the game like you would in soccer.
Correct. I will verify.
Another opportunity for Rocklin, and taking that shot, Abby Fitzer, another freshman. They have a lot of freshmen on their team as well. 10 freshmen on the 15-player roster for Rocklin. They have a couple of juniors, too. Trying to get it back out to the top of the fan. Broncos have it for a second. And now they have it again. This is Watson. Watson into traffic. And there's Fitzer again that comes up with it. Fitzer on the move. There's Munoz. Munoz is working against Maisie Hess. One thing I remember about Maisie Hess from basketball is how tall she is, and she can use that height to her advantage.
Yes, she can.
Right out in front, Garcia once again, and Garcia once again. That's her 5th of the night.
Goal, Rocklin Thunder by number 55.
So I did confirm 2 yellow cards to a player is the equivalent of a red card, which results in a disqualification from the contest. If the foul is a red card for unsportsmanlike behavior that results in a disqualification, the player is also not permitted to play in the next game as well.
Okay, so but if you get 2 yellows to equal a red, you can still play in the next game.
You can still play in the next game.
Because soccer is usually any kind of a red, and you can't play
You're
in
done,
the next
right.
game.
But it is 2 minutes non-releasable. That is different than in college women's lacrosse. In college women's lacrosse, the first 3 yellow cards are 2-minute penalties that are releasable.
Okay.
The third is non-releasable.
Got it. Okay, so on a violation there, the Thunder are given possession in the draw circle. And this is Paige Munoz. Actually, no, that's Garcia from behind. Lost the ball, and there's a collision right as she entered the 8-meter zone.
Yeah, that's going to be or is that going to be a 12-meter shot?
They've actually got her out on the wider fan area.
Yeah, this is going to be a 12-meter attempt.
So this will be interesting to see. This is Garcia that will line it up. Again, you got to clear the zone, but you can collapse in on her. It's like a save there.
A nice job by the defense, and they got fouled, so they still retain possession.
The ball over to Bella Vista.
Nice job by the defense of the Broncos. They needed that.
Here's Hess. Hess finds the opening. Maisie Hess gets around all kinds of defenders. Ball is loose. She gets it. Hess will work to the left side. And the siren will sound, bringing us to the end of the first quarter here at Bella Vista High School. It really has been a one-sided all Rocklin Thunder first quarter after Bella Vista began early, scored the opening goal, looked like they were kind of controlling the possession even. Then right after that, Rocklin just took over because most of this game has been on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, I was anticipating kind of a back-and-forth matchup, and we may see that in the second quarter beyond, but certainly after the Broncos' first goal, it has been all Thunder in the first quarter. And really, it's a matter of, in my opinion, for what it's worth, the Thunder are just exploiting a part of the Bronco defense that they continue to see. And so hopefully the coaches, as they have this 2-minute break in between the quarters, will be able to make some slight adjustments there to help and also build on the positive. Good ball control from both teams for the most part. But, you know, there's also things in JV lacrosse like the penalty that or foul that we've talked about where you can just pick the ball up and keep going. You don't have to stop. And, you know, there's been some hesitation on both sides with that. So,
and that is interestingly enough, that is a rule different from the men's game. With the women's game is when they blow the whistle and call the foul, yeah, you just keep going.
Right.
In the men's game, you stop.
Exactly.
You stop, they come over, they call the penalty, they tell you who the number is on. Even, well, if it's a penalty, they'll identify the number. They might do it on just a common foul as well, but they do stop, and then they have to whistle and wind the clock in.
Right.
So that is one of the differences that we see between the two sports.
The rain has stopped, though.
Yeah, looks like well, some umbrellas are up, others have closed down.
Closed up, yeah. And
so we are about ready to get the second quarter underway. And you know, if you're Bella Vista, you know you got to get the number of that truck that just hit us or something.
Yes.
You certainly want to bounce back. Of course, this is the first game, so it'll be something to build on no matter what happens. And hopefully, the something that they can build on right now is at least maybe to see if they can chip away at this lead.
Right. I mean, again, remember, a lot of the players for Bella Vista, and this could be the case for Rocklin too, we don't know, but for Bella Vista, certainly a lot of these players have never played in the lacrosse game in a live environment ever. And their practice has been with their friends and schoolmates. So this is a very different environment. They'll settle in now that we're in the second quarter and see what happens.
All right, well, second quarter just about to get underway here. And this will be a side-by-side draw to get us started. And that is Garcia once again. She's the star of the game so far. On the attack, there's a shot. Save, Story Wharton. Loose ball out in front of the net.
Bronco ball. Go.
That's what you can do. You don't have to wait for anything. And I wonder if maybe they're, if you talk about young players that until now may not have played the game, that takes some getting used to, especially if they are soccer players, because everything stops. Here's a shot. There's a score! Broncos are back on the board. And that is Jillian Bunsey,
there you go. One of the Bunsey twins.
First goal of the season. She had 8 last year.
That was a great pass from I don't know if that was a defender or a midi there that passed it up right over the Rocklin player's head. And Bunsey picked it up and just full steam ahead. And right like that, 7-2.
We are at 11:19 to go, second quarter, and just to confirm, the clock has stopped after the goal. I think there was just a little miscommunication on the rules, because they do say that it's a running clock. A lot of that having to do with the fact that on common fouls you just keep going.
Right.
So you don't stop the game.
Exactly.
We get a foul in the zone.
Still Rocklin ball, I think.
So from the top of the
8-meter.
Actually, it's from the side of the 8-meter, it looks like. That is, looks like Higbee is the one lined up with it. Yeah, there she goes. There's the shot. And it goes wide.
It's amazing as darkness falls here at Bella Vista.
Rocklin was closest as the ball went out of bounds, so they keep the possession. That's Higbee again on the left. Now they've got it behind the net with Garcia. Garcia with the cradling move. That's where she's spinning the stick back and forth. Cuts around, looking for an opening. And there is a whistle, a foul inside the 8-meter zone. The fan, that is what they call that. So as I refer to it, I'll try and bounce back and forth between the two. The 8-meter zone is what it is, but they call it the fan because it looks like it. Almost looks like a baseball diamond as well.
It does a little bit, you're right.
There's a charge and a shot and a score for Rocklin. And I believe
Rocklin Thunder by number 55.
that was Cameron Garcia again. So how about 6 goals for her?
What a game as a freshman.
Yeah. Breakout game.
Yes.
As a freshman. So.
Yeah, as darkness falls here, it gets increasingly difficult, even with the lights on, to see that dark blue, and there's a lot of black that the Thunder players are wearing. The numbers are white, but there's a lot of blue, dark blue and black. A little hard to see.
This looks like this is going to go Rocklin's way. As they're making their move. This is Munoz once again. Munoz is being pushed to the side. They'll spin it to the X position. And the Thunder will bring it back out along the perimeter. I see a number 77 who is not on my roster, which is a shame because I like number 77. That was my football number. Here is a bouncing shot by Higbee that goes out, and they'll spin it back around. This is Munoz behind the goal at the X position. Munoz on the cradling. Higbee turns the corner. That shot goes wide. She tried it from a very sharp angle.
Rocklin's going to maintain possession. It looks like they were the first there.
Which that's a part of rule on shots in lacrosse that takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
A team that shoots the ball can actually get possession if it goes out of bounds. And that's if one of your teammates is closest to the ball when it rolls out. And that's on shots only. Broncos have 3 players there, and they come up with the possession. And that is Maisie Hess. Hess's defender winds up on the ground, which gives her an opportunity to exit a little bit. Rocklin comes up with possession once again. Here come the Thunder. And that's Higbee. Lois Higbee. She's got Garcia in front of the net. Also right there is Nicola Thompson. Off of a screen. This is Munoz, but she is closed off and forced to the side. Is that rain that I'm hearing?
Yeah, the rain has returned.
Munoz up over the top of the goal looking for Garcia. And that goes wide, and it looks like Munoz got it back and put the ball in the back of the net.
She did.
So Paige Munoz.
Thunder, turn 4, Rocklin Thunder 7, Bella Vista 2. Rocklin Thunder 8.
So that brings us to an 8-2 count for Rocklin. And again, 2 players scoring all of their goals. Paige Munoz with 3, Cameron Garcia. Well, I'm counting 9. I'm counting 9 goals. Maybe I've marked something wrong. And maybe one was disallowed. I don't know.
We'll have to check.
I'm showing one with 6 and one with 3. So back behind the net. That is Thompson that picks it up. And we've got a whistle on the outside. So Rocklin, actually Bella Vista will get possession. Here come the Broncos. A full head of steam up the right sideline. That looks like that's Watson once again. Bring it back behind the net. Watson angles around, tries to center the pass. Nobody there, and the ball is on the ground. A large mass of humanity. And now ultimately the goalie will pick that one up. The goalie, by the way, Marcella Salmon-Leitner is the goalie for the Rocklin Thunder. She did a nice job there.
From the press box, confirmation 9-2 as we had it. So kudos to our scorekeeper.
It's a family business.
It certainly takes a crew to broadcast, though, and
it does.
That's one of the reasons you
And
need somebody to do different jobs.
And we've got a lot of help. We'll give everybody the right credit during the broadcast, but we have a lot of help, and it's greatly appreciated with what everybody does to help make this happen. And here is a shot that goes out of bounds. Rocklin will keep the possession. There's a loose ball right in front of the goal. And, you know, somebody like Cameron Garcia, who has the ball right now, is just going to salivate at a loose ball right in front of the goal. Because you know that she's going to try and
oh, great pass again into the net.
Yeah, and that was Cameron Garcia finding Paige Munoz again. So it's almost like if Munoz scoring, Garcia may get the assist and vice versa.
And vice versa.
Like, you wonder if maybe those two know each other and have played before. We talked about this the other night because we also talked about it on Tuesday night with the boys game. They were playing Whitney, which is also in Rocklin, and how in Rocklin there is a feeder program, and it essentially feeds lacrosse players to both of the two schools there, Rocklin and Whitney. And David Houseworth was saying that at least for the boys team, usually it's like it kind of goes year by year as to which school might get the better of the group.
Sure.
But I tell you what, for a team with 10 of their 15 players on their JV squad as freshmen, which is the case with the Rocklin Thunder, this is a team that looks very experienced.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Garcia and Munoz, that clearly to me looks like two athletes that have been playing fall ball together and different things.
Here's Watson entering the 8-meter zone, and it looks like she has drawn an opportunity here. So Watson just from the left of the apex. Actually, I think that's a number 6, not a number 8. And there's a save by Salmon Leitner. So it looks like Bella Vista has a number 6 in goal and a number 6 on the field. And that number 6 on the field is Paige Hatfield. And it looks like she was the one that took the shot. And they keep going despite the whistle. That's Higbee once again. Higbee on the move. Higbee angling in on goal. She's going to try and take this one. And that one's deflected away. And now jogging behind. Out in front. And it looks like it was Higbee that found the loose ball and also found the back of the net. So somebody other than Paige Munoz or Cameron Garcia has scored for Rocklin.
That's a first for them tonight.
For Rocklin Thunder by number
And that
6,
brings them to an 11-2 lead.
And I know games like this are hard. You know, it's your debut for this JV team, but you have to persevere. You have to stay with it. You got to focus. There's a lot of lacrosse left to play. And even if, you know, winning the game, losing the game, that maybe becomes less relevant as the score continues to get spread apart, you still want to look to improve and have good moments that you can build on here.
So Hatfield is going to face it off against Garcia. And Rocklin once again takes another possession. This is Higbee. Higbee tries to send it behind the back of the net. Did they call that a pass or a shot? I guess they're going to call that a shot.
Looked more like a pass to me, but you're right. Given the officials' reasoning there, that was a shot.
It almost looked like it was lobbed over the net as if she was passing back to the X. A whistle and a stoppage of play briefly, and Bella Vista is going to get the ball. So here come the Broncos on the move.
They've got the rain at their back.
That's Bunsey. Jillian Bunsey on the move. And she'll take it all the way back behind the net. Cradles the crease. Back out in front, Hatfield. And now attacking from the right side. There's a shot. And that one goes wide.
They did a great job setting that up. Let's see if they can do that again. Get another opportunity on goal here towards the end of the first half.
Broncos still in possession. Hatfield once again. Right out in front. Bunsey. A collision and winds up on the ground. The collision with Lily Nye.
And the clock stops here now. We're inside 2 minutes of the first half. So in the second and fourth quarter, if you're within 2 minutes and there is a foul that is going to be an 8-meter or a 12-meter or a goal, they stop the clock for that. But only within the 2 minutes of the second and fourth quarters.
So kind of like the timing rules in college football with the clock, or high school ball. There's a goal for Bella Vista.
Goal, Bella Vista by number 2, Julie Bunsey.
And that was Bunce. That's her second. Bunsey, that's her second of the night. And so the Broncos with 3 on the board now. It is 11-3. Something to build on. Getting more opportunities here in the second quarter, certainly.
Yes. And that's what I mean. I mean, even if you look at the score and say, oh, I don't know we can come back from that, that's irrelevant at this point. Build on the fact that you, in the first half, you have offensive opportunities. They had a great look previous to that goal before they had the foul that just went a little wide. They reset, passed it around again, had a foul opportunity, 8-meter shot, goal. And right like that, you've got 3 goals. That's something to build on and be positive.
So Bunsey's now going to take the draw here at midfield. And Hatfield comes up with it. Working the way to the right side. Broncos working it to the right side. Inside, there's another shot. There's a score for Bella Vista once again.
Was that Zia Martin?
That is Zia Martin with her first goal in a long time.
And that's got to feel good for her, right? I mean, you have the ACL injury. You're out all season. You rebuild. You're here, and you do what you've wanted to do, which is score goals. Good for her.
Welcome back, Zia Martin.
Broncos are happy to have you.
So what was once an 11-2 game is now 11-4.
Momentum.
Yes, indeed.
You can feel it shifting, and right here at the end of the first half, which is excellent for the Broncos.
Bunsey will take the draw once again for Bella Vista. And Munoz comes up with it. And there's Paige Munoz working to the left side.
10 seconds.
Finds a player at the top. There's a save by Story Wharton. And she'll get rid of it immediately, but can't clear it out as it looks like Rocklin, they're going to use the position to get the ball, but the time expires and we have come to the end of the first half. Here at Bella Vista, the Broncos score first, then some rolling thunder, I guess, as Rocklin erupts for a bunch of goals, and then Bella Vista has now found the back of the net here in the last few minutes a couple of times, and so 11-4 at halftime.
Yeah, not horrible. I mean, if you're the coaches here, and I'm looking at the Broncos, and they're fist bumping and jumping around, and they're excited, and that's good. I mean, it's hard if you're the goalkeeper, right? Especially for Story, you have this great night on the varsity, and now you're back at JV, and you're frustrated because the ball keeps getting through. But you have to remember, it's a team sport. That's not just on her. That's on the team as a whole. They're rallying around their goalkeeper. They'll fix some things here at halftime. I'm really excited to see what the second half brings, because I think if they can tighten up a little bit on defense, that will not allow Rocklin to have as many open opportunities, right? Where they're not contested as much. And who knows what the second half could bring? It once looked like it was out of hand, and now who knows?
Halftime is not very long in girls lacrosse. They've got 5 minutes on the board. We're going to take a break of about 2.5 of those 5 minutes, and then we'll get you ready for the second half. It's 11-4 in favor of Rocklin here at halftime.
Such as investment management, financial planning, employer-sponsored retirement plans, legacy wealth planning, and business succession planning, to name a few. Thank you, Natoma Wealth, for your support. Come on down to Vista Snack Bar with hot drinks like hot chocolate with whipped cream, cheap coffee, and snacks galore.
Well, you might have heard that. I guess that's the unofficial 1-minute warning in lacrosse, but you just heard a referee say to the coach, 1 minute.
I didn't know that was a thing, but there we go.
Just give him that 1 minute warning. George Tharlson, Aaron Keogh with you here at Bella Vista High School as we are bringing you the girls JV lacrosse game between Bella Vista and Rocklin. And again, Broncos a little bit to build on here in that late in that second quarter as they were able to find the net a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum, I really feel like shifted to Bella Vista. I mean, it was all Thunder there for a long time, but I really feel like they've kind of come on now. Is it going to be enough to draw back even and take the lead? I don't know. We'll see, but definitely a lot of positives to build on for the coaching staff here with the Broncos.
All right, so we are going to head back to the field of play here and get the second half of action underway with Bella Vista well, I would like to say they were on top, but no, that's Rocklin that's on top, 11-4.
And we've switched sides again. That's another rule change aside from going to quarters like the boys have played. Girls played halves last year. That was a rule change. They also switch every quarter which way they're going. So.
Right, and that's in line with what the boys do, because they switch. It's like football.
Yeah.
So Munoz takes that one out of the air, and this is Garcia. The two of them have really led the onslaught, if you will. Garcia tries to get it right at the top. Now they'll work it over to the far side. Inside Garcia, she has a shot. Nice save, Story Wharton. Broncos on the move. Paige Hatfield on the move. Has an opening, an opportunity. Her shot too tall. Broncos still in possession. Now moving from the right side or the left side. There's a goal for the Broncos once again. The third for Jillian Bunsey and a hat trick.
So what was really great there, the shot on goal was a little high, but Jilly was in great position to be able to retain possession because, like you mentioned earlier, on a shot, whoever closest to the where it went out gets to retain possession, and she was able to scoop it right up and come right back in with the score. Great heads-up play by her and the Broncos, and they built on their momentum.
And just like that 8-point lead, 9-point lead, is now 6. Munoz controls once again off the draw, making her way to the right side once again. Centering pass. There's a shot from the person whose name we don't have. And Emma Rowan for Bella Vista on the sideline there trying to secure possession, but it will go over to Rocklin. Thunder on the move. That is Fitzer. Fitzer, goal line extended. They'll work it back to the X, which that is Sood. They've got Garcia out front. And Story Wharton winds up with it. Loose ball. It's been on the ground for quite a while. Nobody seems to be able to secure the possession. And now ultimately Rocklin has it. And there's going to be a foul well outside any lines or anything like that. So Rocklin will just pick it up and go with it. It's Garcia. Will work her way to the X position. Garcia now looking for the angle right out in front, And that one goes wide and out of bounds, but Rocklin will secure possession. Point-blank range.
Yeah, just misfired a little bit there. Great opportunity for Rocklin.
Green is picking up again, and that time it works out for Cameron Garcia. Nice pass. I believe that was Fitzer that got it to her, and Cameron Garcia has now scored her 7th goal of the game.
But I like some of the adjustments that the Broncos made on defense there. Rocklin had to really, really work for that opportunity to get the goal, and so that that's a positive as well. And again, we're looking to build on positives. Something else that we should mention, the rain is steadily coming down now.
Yes.
The turf is a different shade of green, and that changes gameplay too. How you
know what, though? They don't look fazed by it at all.
They don't.
Yeah.
I would be, but they don't.
Munoz. Work it on the right side. That may be Fitzer again. She's battling against Hildebrand. Back out. Here's Sood. Sood had a look. She thought about it. And will now bring it back out. Bella Vista, 3 defenders out top. Here's Munoz once again. Munoz will bring it back out in front. Loose ball. And the Broncos will emerge with possession. That's DeMucha. We'll stay with the Broncos, and you keep going, of course, in girls lacrosse. Good defense on the part of Munoz and Garcia. Fitzer was there, too. Broncos have it. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world when you've got everything on the move. You're getting ready to pass to a teammate like Mackenzie Kavanaugh tried to do right there, and then have the ball fall behind and roll out of the stick.
Well, I can tell you, my daughter, who plays on the varsity team, coming up here in a little bit, I have tried to use her stick and try to keep that ball in it, and it is much more difficult than they make it look. They make it look easy, but it is very challenging.
Fitzer out front. Keeps possession now. She lobs a pass inside, was looking for Munoz. Garcia winds up with it. Cameron Garcia, she'll take an opportunity and a shot. That one's deflected wide, and it will go out of bounds. You know, I remember my son, Nicholas, plays on the boys' varsity team this year. They played the game against the girls' team, the Oak Stick Classic, at the end. And he was talking about how different the stick is because they play by the girls' rules for that matchup every year.
Right. Someone told me once, and I don't know if this is accurate, you might actually have a better insight into this watching both more than I have, but someone told me, boys lacrosse is a lot rougher. Girls lacrosse, there's a lot more finesse involved. And I don't know if that's an accurate statement or not. I can't remember who told me that.
Well, it's just, if you think about all the gear that's used, Garcia tries to take a shot, and it looks like we have a penalty.
Yep, yellow card.
Oh, another yellow card.
Looks like somebody slashed. I think Rocklin. Yep.
So they don't throw flags?
No, there's no flags. It's just a
Okay.
yellow card. So this is number 55.
That's
for Rocklin.
Cameron Garcia.
So she's, I believe what I saw the official make was a slashing motion. So that'll be a non-releasable penalty for 2 minutes.
Rain really picking up. That is Eleanor Bolden back there for Bella Vista, number 23 with the red helmet. And I was saying in terms of rougher versus finesse, you see some of the girls are wearing helmets, but not everybody is. They don't have to.
Correct.
The boys have to. And the boys wear the padding like hockey players and football players do. It's not as extensive as a football player's padding, but it is. They still have it. So So in those respects, that tells me that the boys' game probably is rougher. And plus, there's contact, and there's some contact that's allowed. Boy, that rain's really picking up. You can hear the wind also. I hope that's just wind. The only thunder I want to be experiencing tonight are the players on the field, watching them. So
I agree with you. Now you can see players on the sidelines cheering on their teammates, starting to shiver a little bit. It's coming down.
Well, we do have the pop-up tents that we mentioned.
A goal there by the Thunder.
Another one for Rocklin.
Goal, Rocklin Thunder by number 6, Lois Higby.
That's Lois Higby getting her second of the game. And that brings us to a 13-5 count now with 4:18 to go. Yeah, boy, that wind is really picking up, the rain. You can see as we look in the lights, I don't know if you can catch this on the, we're kind of focused more on the field of play, but as we look at the lights, you can see the rain kind of moving to the north, if you will. The rain is moving from right to left across your video screen, if you will. The Thunder have the rain at their back. And illegal procedure there on the draw, and so Rocklin will keep possession. But probably not for long as that ball goes out of bounds. That is not a shot. So that should, I believe that should be Bella Vista ball. It is.
It is, yeah.
So here's Bolden again. And there is some contact allowed as you're seeing right there between Fitzer and Bolden. Now the ball is loose and it will go out of bounds.
I'll say Bronco ball again.
So here come the Broncos. Really steady rain falling right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a whistle inside the 8-meter zone. And so they're going to have to clear the zone. Looks like Lois Higby is the one that has picked up the ball. And so she's going to have a shot from inside the 8-meter mark. Or actually outside the 8-meter mark, kind of halfway between, looks like between the 8 and the 12 as we look at the lines on the field. She's going to send a pass and try to get it to Munoz. And that looks like it's going to go out of bounds as Rocklin's not able to secure it. And you hear it.
Oh, my goodness.
You hear it. And they're continuing to play. So my hat's off to these young ladies that are playing here. Here's a shot from the right side and a goal for the Rocklin Thunder.
Goal, Rocklin Thunder, current score is 14 Rocklin, 5
Trying to
Broncos.
see who got that one. And I didn't really get a good look at it. So we'll just mark it up here on our score sheet.
Yeah.
So that we know that they've
We know it went in.
We know it went in.
It's just hard to see who it was.
We know it's 14-5. Want to remind you that we're not done when this game comes to an end. We have another one for you. We invite you to join us as Regan Silvers, Julia Thomas, and Lola K. Ballard lead the way as the Broncos will take on Rocklin in the varsity game tonight at 7 o'clock. So we hope you stay with us here on YouTube and join us for all the action. Could be a really interesting matchup, especially if these weather conditions continue. That's Sood. Sood tries to find Fitzer, but that's going to go out of bounds. And Higby was also down there but couldn't control. So the Broncos, again, another opportunity to build it out of the zone here.
Oh, she lost it.
It looks like Casey Mosier was having a little difficulty there. Higby has it. Higby's right out in front of the goal.
Higby scores.
And she did get the goal.
Yep.
And so that's the third for Higby. She gets a hat trick. You know, when they're right out in front of the goal like that, point blank range, it's almost, not always, but almost a given. Boy, that's a very hard rain falling right now.
So the good news is I'm looking at the weather forecast here live to a running clock now, it looks like, and there's a cell moving through right here, right now, that looks like is going to lessen. I don't know that it's going to be gone by the time the varsity game has their draw to start the game, but it will be much less than it is right now. So good news for the varsity. Unfortunately for the JV girls, looks like they're going to be in this rain through the end of their game.
Here's Sood once again. Was looking behind, looking for someone to pass it to. She just continues on now. Now she'll find Garcia. Garcia's open. She'll take a shot and scores.
Again, I feel like what Rocklin is doing a really good job of, and they did it in the first half, it just took them a little while to find it in the second half, is they're finding a weakness in the defense of the Broncos, and they're exploiting it over and over and over again, and the Broncos are just having a little bit of, they're just a step behind and adjusting. That's okay. It's the first game of the year. They'll work on that in practice.
8 goals for Cameron Garcia.
Wow, what a night.
And speaking of 8-goal performances, we got to give a shout-out on the boys' side to Mateo Polanco. 8 goals the other night against Nevada Union. Goal number 7 of those 8 was his 100th career goal for the Broncos.
Congratulations to him.
4-year varsity player for Bella Vista. We will see Mateo Polanco and the boys' team Wednesday night here at home against Folsom, as he will look to open the scoring with career goal number 102 against the Bulldogs. And the quarter ends just as Paige Munoz finds the back of the net. And it looks like another goal there for Rocklin.
Yeah, a little bit of heartbreak there at the end of the quarter, but
so we've come to the end of the third quarter. It is 17-5 now. Bella Vista, late first half, early second half, they were kind of chipping away like we talked about. They were chipping away at the lead, but then the Rocklin Thunder started rolling again and finding the back of the net. And I mean, Bella Vista got it to 11 within 11-5.
Yep.
And then 6 straight goals now for Rocklin, and they're back up by 12 goals.
Yeah, and you know, as you said earlier, the Thunder are on a roll, but I'm not happy about that. But I am happy that that's weather-wise the only Thunder we're dealing with. There is no lightning or thunder that I have seen. Well, you wouldn't see the thunder, obviously, but I have not seen the lightning at all. That's good news. Lacrosse, both boys and girls, played in all sorts of weather, but
Correct.
lightning not being one of them. Lightning, you got to stop. So
yeah, pretty much any outdoor sport will stop for lightning.
Yep.
And I'm not sure. I think that there's probably facilities, buildings that the players could go into to be safe. But as far as the fans are concerned, what do you do when you're here?
Well, certainly have to clear these metal bleachers. That's
right.
for sure. You'd have to get out of there. Maybe put some people up here in the press box with us. Maybe.
Yeah, it's already kind of cozy, but are we?
Well, I'm just remarking at the ceiling of our press box here. We did football on top of the press box, and then found out after the season that it needed to be repaired. And I'm looking above us and seeing why it needed to be repaired, because it feels like the ceiling is coming in.
As long as there's nothing falling from the ceiling,
including moisture.
Including moisture, I think that we are.
We're okay.
I think that we are good. Well, certainly a very eventful night rain-wise, and if you are a Rocklin Thunder fan, a very eventful night in that respect as well.
Yep.
It has been quite an evening.
We still got a quarter to go here. It'll be a running clock.
All the way, yes. So the clock stoppages that you mentioned that happened in the last 2 minutes, unless it gets really close, are probably not going to happen because of the score differential right now. So the Broncos, by the way, after tonight, they will next be in action Wednesday at West Park. In fact, it's the first of 3 straight road games for the Broncos girls program. It'll be Wednesday at West Park, followed by next Friday the 8th at Vintage, and then on the 12th they will be at Christian Brothers.
That Vintage game is going to be a lot of fun. That's something that Coach Scott Hackman worked out over in the Napa area with Vintage High School. Going to be a fun road trip for the girls to go over. JV girls will be in the Napa area as well, but I forget. I'll have to look up. I forget.
So they won't be playing. They won't be playing Vintage.
No, I believe if I remember correctly, they're actually going to play a varsity team over there.
Oh wow!
Let me see if I can find it quick for you, and I will tell you.
All right, so we will keep watching the action here, and we'll have that information for it. That's really interesting, and it's good experience too. Here come the Broncos on the move, a shot and a score. And that is Kelly Olson.
By number 1, Kelly Olson.
That's her first of the season. She had won all of last year. And so she's got to be feeling good there to get the first one out of the way now, and hopefully there's more to come.
Yeah.
Kelly Olson, a sophomore for the Bella Vista Broncos.
So, if I remember this correctly, what Coach Hackman had said is that both teams are going to go over to the Napa area, and the JV girls are going to play the varsity Napa high school squad, and then the Bella Vista varsity squad will play Vintage High School's varsity squad.
Now, are those games going to be at separate locations, or have they worked it out to where maybe they could be played at the same time or at the same place?
Yeah, I think that they are going to be played at the same place. There was some talk about them being played at Santa Rosa Junior College.
Oh, that'll be neat.
Yeah, but I don't know. Or I'm sorry, not Santa Rosa Junior, Napa Community College.
Napa Community. Okay.
But I'm not sure if that got worked out or not. I'll try to find out maybe before the varsity game.
This is Gigi Palomino, number 11. And the Broncos have it. Ball loose and stepping out of bounds. It should go back over to the Broncos. I can remember back in my high school football days having games like this. And I wasn't good enough to get into the games, so I was on the sidelines. But it wasn't covered or anything like that. And then on practices, it was just miserable.
Yeah.
Here is our aforementioned favorite number of mine, but we don't have a name for her, number 77. Loose ball. And the Broncos have it once again. Looks like the pass goes out of bounds. It'll be back over to Bella Vista. Broncos on the move once again, working from the right side. Now back in behind the net. Pass floats over. And this is Jillian Bunsey. Bunsey, now she'll spin it back to the X. Back out in front. They're trying to find Olson again. And now that winds up in the possession of Marcella Salmon-Leitner. Right out in front, here is a loose ball. And that'll be whistled dead.
And the rain has really lightened up now. It's still raining, but
you can still hear it.
But it's nice that it's gotten a little bit less. These are some brave student athletes playing out here in these conditions when it's like this. 12-meter shot.
And it's in the net.
Oh.
But they blew the whistle.
Looks like maybe somebody collapsed early. Not quite sure. I was having trouble seeing what the official was saying there, but at any rate, no goal. And Rocklin's goalkeeper tosses it out left, and it goes out of bounds. And they're going to retain possession. The Thunder will.
So back behind the net. This is Higbee. On the move, she's being battled there on the sideline by Bunsey. Loose ball. Higbee picks it back up. Jillian Bunsey staying with her stride for stride. Ball out again. And they will blow the whistle back behind the net. It looks like Rocklin will keep possession.
Great job by Bunsey there on defense. Had the Rocklin player lose the ball out of her cross twice. She was able to retain it, but great job on defense.
So this fits her, and then they're going to whistle. And they're going to award possession over to Bella Vista. Not a lot of quick movement here. I think people are kind of confused over the call.
Uh-huh. Well, the call came from the official that was furthest from the action. But now, I don't know what's going on here.
Well, I saw them point Bella Vista's way, but it looks like Rocklin maintains. And now entering the attack zone, that was Fitzer again, and it looks like she's going to get a shot at the top of the fan. We'll await the whistle. And there's a shot that goes too tall. Couple of players, one for each, were right there. We'll see where they're going to say that Rocklin was closer. So clock running, under 5:30 to go in the ball game here. 17-6 in favor of Rocklin. Munoz. She's been very methodically working her way back to the X position. Now sends it back out front. McKenna Sperling is into the game, number 81. And that is her with the gray hoodie underneath her jersey. And now they'll find Fitzer once again. She finds an open net and scores. Abby Fitzer. That's the first that I have for her.
So weather update over here from your unofficial meteorologist. It's 6:44 p.m. Pacific time, and I just got an alert on my phone that said rain is expected to stop at 6:52 p.m. So
okay,
we'll see how accurate that is, but it has really lightened up here, though.
Watch out, Mark Finan. Your job's in jeopardy.
That's right. Amazing what you can do with a cell phone and just a little research. We're down to 4 minutes here,
We're
George.
down to 4 minutes again, and Rocklin just found the back of the net one more time. And so 18-6 is our score, as they will face it off. In fact, that was Fitzer that just got that goal just a few moments ago that we mentioned. Loose ball. And it's controlled by the Broncos. That's Hildebrand. Had it for a second. Ball is loose. And we're going to have a whistle that will go against Bella Vista. And so this is going to be a shot from the 8-meter area, it looks like. In fact, that looks like Fitzer is the one that is lined up with it. And she'll wind up. Save, Story Wharton.
Story's had some great saves. I know there's been a lot that has gotten by tonight, but she has done an excellent job. Really made some excellent saves.
Well, and again, we know what she can do. We saw it in the varsity game the other night when she had to fill in for L.C. Ballard in goal and had a really, really good game.
Yeah, goalkeepers they have a rough job, because when you look at the score and you go, oh, well, the score's, a lot to a little, and that's got to be the goalkeeper. No, it's a team sport, and she's done a fantastic job
and
tonight.
Especially with lacrosse, because lacrosse can be high scoring. And there's a shot and another goal for Rocklin.
Goal, Rocklin.
What I love about Story's effort tonight is she has been all over. She's been on the ground. She's been up in the air trying to make she's had her stick up, intercepted a couple passes across the net. I mean, just really done a lot of good things. The whole team has done a really good job tonight. And I know the score doesn't reflect that.
It looks to me, based on what I've seen this week, seeing now 2 teams, and we'll see a third one in a few minutes from Rocklin, it seems like you mentioned that lacrosse is the national sport of Canada.
That's what I heard.
It must be the official sport of the city of Rocklin also.
So,
I mean, these teams are really good.
Really well coached. A lot of good passes.
Battle for the ball. That's Mackenzie Cavanaugh trying to get it for Bella Vista. And there's Pfister again. Or Fitzer, I should say. And we got to pronounce that name right, because she's been giving Bella Vista fits tonight.
Amen to that.
Right out in front, Sori Wharton winds up with the ball. She tries to clear to the outside.
And we're down to a minute.
Down to a minute to go. And I'm thinking that a lot of these players are looking forward to getting into the locker room and the warmth of their home tonight after this one. So there is Munoz once again. Munoz enters the 8-meter area, and a foul is committed, so she'll get a shot from the edge there. Waiting on the whistle. Munoz will take a shot. And Story Wharton just got that ball before it rolled across the goal line. She deflected it. I believe it was loose, and it was rolling right toward her.
Yep.
And it's like, if you've ever played soccer and you see that ball inching toward that goal line, you know you got to clear it out. Time has expired here as we've come to the end of the game, and we have a 19-6 win for Rocklin.
What I love about what I saw with this Bella Vista program is when time expired, every single player on the sideline rushed the field to their goalkeeper and their team, celebrating, congratulating one another, building positive momentum.
Yeah, even though they lose 19-6. And
exactly.
That's something I love about lacrosse, because
Yeah.
that's a tradition in lacrosse.
Yes.
You go and you all charge your goalie at the end of the game.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if they gave up 20 goals during in the last quarter,
That's
or
right.
if they stood on their head and they pitched a shutout. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
You go and you congratulate your goalie, because you're right, they have a real tough job.
Oh, it's so hard. So hard. I wouldn't want it. And I'm a big guy. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want that job.
Well, and you watching the boys team as we do. We were watching them play Christian Brothers, and Chase Jones for the boys team played the fourth quarter and the overtime of that game, and it was the game-winning goal for Christian Brothers in overtime. It got past him, and that's a rough night for him, and I understand that he took it pretty hard for a little bit, but he's bounced back. He's had some pretty good games after that. So,
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do as a goalie. You have to, not only do you have to forget the last game, you have to forget like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, you have to get in a good headspace to be able to be ready to go, because the ball's coming right back at you again.
All right. So once again, the Rocklin Thunder win this one 19-6. Stay tuned for the varsity game between Rocklin and Bella Vista. We will close out this portion of the broadcast, and we will be back on in just a few minutes as the Broncos get set to take on the Rocklin Thunder varsity squad. For Aaron Keogh, I'm George Tharlson. Have a great night.